Hello everyone. Welcome to the course of Animal Cell Culture, Medical and Microbial Biotechnology. And in the continuation of serological test, today's topics are immunofluorescence techniques, which includes direct and indirect immunofluorescence assay, complement fixation technique, rapid antigen test technique, and luciferase immunoprecipitation system assay. So let's talk about the immunofluorescence technique. Actually, the immunofluorescence technique, it relies on the use of labeled antibodies, and this labeling is with a fluorescent dye, which is known as fluorophore or fluorochrome, and the most commonly used fluorescent dye is fluorescein isothiocyanate. This labeled antibody, it binds with the target antigen which is present in a serum sample, and the fluorophore, it allows visualization of the target distribution in the sample under a fluorescent microscope. It could be a epifluorescence microscope or a confocal microscope. And there are two type of immunofluorescent assay techniques. One is direct fluorescence assay, another is indirect fluorescence assay. In direct fluorescence assay, only a single antibody which is labeled with a fluorophore, it is directed against the target of interest. And this single antibody, it is actually known as primary antibody because it is raised against the target antigen. So this primary antibody is directly conjugated to a fluorophore. In the indirect fluorescence assay, there are two antibodies. One which is directly raised against the antigen, which is known as primary antibody, and this primary antibody, it is unconjugated with a fluorophore, while this primary antibody is in turn diagnosed by, or it is detected by a secondary antibody which is raised or which is directed against the Fc region of the primary antibody. So this secondary antibody is actually fluorophore conjugated, and which allows the detection of a particular target antigen in a sample. So in this picture, you can easily see the difference between direct and indirect immunofluorescence assay. You can see that in direct immunofluorescence assay, the antibody which is actually targeted against a specific antigen, it remains labeled with a fluorophore. While in indirect assay, the secondary antibodies, it remains conjugated with fluorophore, and these secondary antibodies actually they recognize the Fc region of the primary antibody. So if we compare the difference between direct and indirect immunofluorescence assay, so actually because in direct immunofluorescence assay only one single antibody is used, so there is a it requires only one labeling step, while indirect immunofluorescence assay, it requires an additional step in which the secondary antibody, it is added to the uh, sample. Actually, first a cell or a sample which is present in a particular ELISA plate or some slide, it first it is coated with an antigen, or it is filled with a serum sample, and then it is actually exposed to the primary antibody. In case of direct fluorescence assay, the antibody which is labeled with the fluorophore, it directly bind with the immobilized antigen, and then this unbound labeled antibody, it is washed with the rinsing step. After that, the slide is uh, visualized under either epifluorescence microscope or confocal microscope. So if we talk about the time consumed, so direct immunofluorescence assay, it takes less time in comparison to the indirect one. And of course, the if we are talking about the cost, the conjugated primary antibodies are actually more expensive in comparison to the secondary antibodies. So, so we can say that this indirect assay is less expensive in comparison to direct one, and the sensitivity of the indirect assay is much more in comparison to the direct one, because several secondary antibodies, as you can see in this picture, that several secondary antibodies can bind to the primary antibody and resulting in an amplified signal. So a small amount of antigen can be detected with the indirect immunofluorescence assay. And if we talk about the background, so the background is more or high in case of indirect immunofluorescence assay. Next technique is complement fixation test. Actually, the complement fixation test is an immunological test that can be used to detect the presence of either specific antibody or specific antigen in a particular patient serum. And it depends upon whether complement fixation occurs. And generally it is used to diagnose infections and sometimes in rheumatic disease, but nowadays this technique or this assay system, it is superseded by other serological test or test methods like ELISA or PCR methods, which are specific and rapid, highly sensitive in comparison to complement fixation test. However, the complement fixation test is still exist, and the process of complement system, it involves the presence of uh, a complement. Actually, the complement system is a system of serum proteins that reacts with antigen antibody complexes, and if this reaction occurs on a cell surface, as you have already studied in your immunology course, that it will result in the formation of a transmembrane pores, and therefore it causes the leakage of the cell. And in this complement fixation process, first of all, the serum is separated from the it is serum is actually blood is taken from the patient and the serum is separated. Then uh, generally the serum naturally have different levels of complement proteins in their patients. So these complement proteins must be destroyed and replaced these complement, because each and every complement is specific for its antigen antibody complex. So these complement proteins are first to be must be destroyed and replaced by a known amount of a standardized complement protein, and the serum for that purpose, the serum is heated in such a way that all of the complement proteins, which are highly labile, uh, highly heat labile, they must be destroyed, but none of the antibodies. Okay, so this is actually possible because, as I have told you, that complement proteins are much more sensitive towards heat in comparison to antibody. So then after destroying the natural complement proteins, a known amount of standard complement proteins are added to the serum, and after that the antigen of interest is added to the serum. And if the antigen specific antibody is present in the serum, it binds with the antigen and it makes a immunological immunocomplex, and the complement which has been added, a standard complement, it binds with that immunocomplex. But if it is not happen, then in the last step, when we add, as you can see in this figure, when we add the generally sheep red blood cells along with the anti-sheep RBC antibodies to the serum, what happened if the specific antibodies which has to be diagnosed, it is present, it forms a antigen antibody complex, and the complement, it also binds with the antigen antibody complex, and there is no complement, there is no free complement which binds with the sheep RBCs and anti-sheep RBC antibody complex. ठीक है, अगर जो है एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी कॉम्प्लेक्स जिसका हमने डिटेक्शन करना है वो प्रेजेंट नहीं होगा तो कॉम्प्लीमेंट फ्री होंगे इस असे सिस्टम में। लेकिन अगर ये एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी कॉम्प्लेक्स बन चुका है तो कॉम्प्लीमेंट जो कि ऐड किए गए हैं, दे बाइंड्स विद दीज एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी कॉम्प्लेक्स एंड देयर इज नो फ्री complement which binds with the RBCs and its antibody. तो क्या होगा कि जो RBCs एंटीबॉडी एंड RBC एक्ट एज एंटीजन और जो एंटी शीप RBCs एंटीबॉडीज लिया गया इट एक्ट एज एन एंटीबॉडी, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्म कर लेंगे और दे गेट सेटल इनटू ए पेलेट बिकॉज देयर इज नो कॉम्प्लीमेंट। बट if this specific antigen antibody complex is not formed because of the absence of specific antibodies, because of the absence of specific antibodies, then what will happen? These complements which are added to this assay system, they binds with the sheep RBCs and its antibody complex and causes the lysis of RBC cells, which causes the coloration of this assay system into a pink color and which shows negative result. Is it clear? It shows negative result because the control यहाँ पे control क्या है? Sheep RBCs and its antibody which when comes in contact they form a complex. ठीक है, और अगर complement free complement present होगा तब ये जो है RBCs की लाइसिस कर देगा जिसकी वजह से जो assay system है इसका कलर पिंक हो जाएगा। लेकिन अगर फ्री कॉम्प्लीमेंट प्रेजेंट नहीं होगा कॉम्प्लीमेंट प्रोटीन, तो आरबीसीज along with its antibody it gets settled down in a form of a pellet, और कोई लाइसिस नहीं होगी, कलर चेंज नहीं होगा. सो दिस इंडिकेट्स द पॉजिटिव test, while if lysis occur, the assess color changes into pink color, then it shows the negative result. Is it clear to all of you? So next topic is luciferase immunoprecipitation system assay. So luciferase, it is an enzyme present in various animals, in firefly and a sea pansy that is known as Renilla reniformis. And this luciferase immunoprecipitation assay system, it is actually a liquid phase immunoassay that quantitates antigen specific serum antibodies, antigen-specific serum antibodies by measuring luminescence emitted by the reporter enzyme Renilla luciferase, that abbreviated as RLU. This luciferase enzyme, it is fused to an antigen of interest. When it is fused to an antigen of interest, this luciferase immunoprecipitation system assay, that is known as LIPS assay, can be utilized as a high throughput and sensitive serological method for uh, profiling serum antibodies which recognize diverse antigens. It involves, uh, as I have told you, the quantitation of the serum antibody by measuring luminescence emitted by the reporter enzyme Renilla luciferase. And for this, a substrate, a specific substrate that is known as Coelentra gene is used, and this Coelentra gene, when it is catalyzed by the luciferase, Renilla luciferase, it produces light, and that light can be captured by the, or that light can be actually uh, used as the measurement of a particular uh, antigen specific antibodies. So in this assay system, first the this Renilla luciferase antigen fusion protein, it is first it is constructed, then it is exposed to a particular serum which contains, if it is contains the antigen specific antibodies, the this Renilla luciferase antigen fusion protein is recognized by antigen specific antibodies, and antigen antibody complex then captured by protein AG beads. Protein AG beads, actually it is protein A and protein G fusion protein. It is a specific protein which has the binding site for FC region of IgG, and they bind with they actually capture the antigen antibody complex by binding with the FC region of the immunoglobulin G antibody, and these AG beads then purified, washed, and then exposed to the uh, substrate cilintragine, and this cilintragine actually this is a substrate which is used for luciferase assay, particularly granular luciferase assay system. And this cilintragene it has autoluminescence property, and this autoluminescence, it means it can produce cilintragene, it decompose to produce, or it after lysis, in absence of enzyme, it can produce light. So this effect of autoluminescence should be reduced, and different types of system has been already evolved or formulated, which actually reduces the effect of cilintragene autoluminescence in comparison to other region. And so the system assay, this lips assay system, it becomes much more sensitive than the original one. And this system actually, it can be used to use wild type or synthetic renilla luciferase gene for primary expression or internal measurement of gene expression when we fuse the gene of renilla luciferase with a specific antigen gene. So by this way, the presence of a antigen specific serum antibody can be detected with the help of this luciferase immunoprecipitation system assay. Then next topic is rapid diagnostic tests. Rapid diagnostic test, it is also a medical diagnostic test, and इसे rapid diagnostic test इसलिए कहा गया है because it provides same day result within 2 hours, and कुछ केस में तो ऐसा है कि within 20 minutes it will provides you a tentative results, not confirmatory, but tentative results. So this rapid test, it is quick and easy to perform, and it is generally used for preliminary or emergency medical screening, and for use in medical facilities with limited resources, as you can see in nowadays for the detection of COVID-19 antigen. So that is known as rapid antigen test or rapid test simply. And according to European Union, a rapid test means qualitative or semi-quantitative in vitro diagnostic medical devices used singly or in a small series, which involve non-automated procedure and have been designed to give a fast result. So there are two type of rapid diagnostic test. One which identified the presence of antigen, that is known as rapid antigen test, and it can be defined as a rapid diagnostic test suitable for point of care testing that directly detects the presence or absence of an antigen. And it is now commonly used, generally used for the detection of जो rapid test आपको सुनाई पड़ रहा है कि rapid test जो है COVID-19 के लिए, that is used for the detection of SARS-CoV-2 causes the COVID-19 disease, and for that a monoclonal antibody must be immobilized in a matrix, and that matrix when it is used in a form of kit and along with a control, and when we put the serum of a particular suspected susceptible patient and if that patient contains the SARS-CoV-2 virus infection, then the antigen, the envelope, or the spike protein, which act as an antigen, it binds with the specific monoclonal antibody and it provides the positive result. And if it is not present, then only the control shows the a precipitin line, while the test one, it remains empty because of the absence of an antigen. And this actually rapid diagnostic test, particularly rapid antigen test, it totally depends upon the collection of the sample. If the collection is not proper, then it show the false negative test, and if the sampling is proper, then it shows the accurate test or accurate result. But it is totally depends upon the sampling. So other examples of rapid antigen test uh, kit is rapid influenza diagnostic test, malaria antigen detection test, and strep diagnostic test for strep throat. And another rapid diagnostic test, which depends upon the detection of antibody present in a particular susceptible patient. So that is known as rapid antibody test, which is suitable for point of care testing that directly detects the presence or absence of a specific antibody in a given sample. For example, uh, in case of rapid HIV test, the detection of antibodies in a particular patient, it is detected by this rapid test. So this is all about for today's class, and in the next class we will discuss about the hybridized nucleic acid hybridization and amplification based techniques which are used for the diagnosis of different diseases. Thank you very much.